In the late 19th century, Zionism emerged in Eastern Europe, a hotbed where the European labor movement was flourishing and socialist ideas were rapidly spreading. Eastern Europe was one of the major birthplaces of socialist thought, and thus Zionism and socialism spread almost simultaneously within the Jewish communities there. The foundations of Labor Zionism. Among the earliest Jewish immigrants, Aliyah, to Palestine, a significant number arrived not just with abstract Zionist ideals, but with concrete socialist principles known as Labor Zionism, Tnuat Havoda. This ideology held that the Jewish nation could only be redeemed through productive labor and the establishment of a collective, egalitarian society. This was realized through unique collective economic organizations, including kibbutzim and moshevim, collective and cooperative agricultural settlements designed to negate the traditional Jewish role in commerce and establish a self-sufficient working class. The Histadrut, General Federation of Jewish Labor, established in 1920, it was not merely a trade union. It became a massive, state-within-a-state entity that owned industries, banks, and healthcare services, Kapat Halam, effectively shaping Israel's early socialist-leaning economic structure. The Palestine Labor Party, Mapai, the dominant political force for over half a century. This movement dominated Israeli politics and economic life for decades, championing a collective economy, strong state intervention, and a high priority on social welfare. Israel's first 5 prime ministers, Ben-Gurion, Herut, Eshkol, Meir, and Rabin, were all leaders of this socialist-oriented labor movement. The struggle against the revisionists during Ben-Gurion's era, the Labor Party was nearly unchallenged. He systematically excluded the right-wing revisionist Zionists, led by Ze'ev Jabotinsky and later Menachem Begin, from key leadership positions within the Jewish community, Yishuv. The revisionists held a militant, nationalist-focused vision, prioritizing the immediate establishment of a Jewish state on both sides of the Jordan River and emphasizing strong military action over socialist collectivism. Ben-Gurion's deep hostility stemmed partly from the Irgun, Begin's military organization, and its pre-state use of violence, which the labor establishment often viewed as irresponsible and extreme. After the state was founded, revisionist leader Menachem Begin reorganized the Irgun into the Herut freedom movement, entering electoral politics for the first time, but still facing strong rejection from labor. Ben-Gurion famously refused to address him by name in the Knesset, calling him only the man sitting to the right of Yohanan Bader. The shift, labor's weakness, and Gahal's formation. By the 1960s, internal splits weakened the labor movement. Simultaneously, Herut began to gain strength. Seeking a more respectable public image and shedding the stigma of its militant past, Herut abandoned some of its more extreme positions and allied with the more moderate Liberal Party. In 1965, the two formed the Gahal Alliance, with Begin as its natural leader. This alliance won 26 seats in the November election, becoming the second largest force in the Knesset, marking Israel's first true two-bloc political structure and signaling the end of Labor's unchallenged supremacy. From marginalization to the mainstream, 1967. The period leading up to the 1967 Six-Day War saw a crucial breakthrough for the right wing. Prime Minister Levi Eshkol, Labor, adopted a more conciliatory stance toward the revisionists, most notably by agreeing to repatriate the remains of revisionist founder Ze'ev Jabotinsky and granting him a state burial. On the eve of the 1967 war, amid national anxiety, Eshkol invited Begin and other opposition leaders to join the government, forming a national unity cabinet. This moment formally brought the revisionist camp into mainstream politics for the first time, fundamentally legitimizing the right wing as a potential governing force. The rise of Likud, nationalist aspirations, and social change. Gahal later fractured over policy, but Begin continued building alliances with other right-wing and nationalist groups, including the Greater Israel Movement, advocating permanent retention of the occupied territories. With strong support from figures like Ariel Sharon, multiple right-wing factions merged in 1973 to create the Likud Party, meaning consolidation. Thus, by 1973, Israel's politics crystallized into the definitive left-right dual bloc structure that defines it today. The Labor Alignment, major left-wing bloc, rooted in socialism and secular Ashkenazi establishment. The Likud bloc, major right-wing bloc, rooted in militant nationalism and social change. Likud's winning formula. The socioeconomic wedge. Likud's political platform successfully combined two powerful, previously separate streams of discontent. Hardline nationalism, upholding Israel's claims to the occupied territories and emphasizing Jewish tradition and national identity. Addressing the Mizrahi divide. Crucially, Likud prioritized improving conditions for the lower-income classes, especially the Mizrahi, Eastern, Jews who immigrated from Middle Eastern and North African countries. The early labor establishment, predominantly Ashkenazi, was often accused of having treated the mass Mizrahi immigration with paternalism and marginalization. Likud, led by the charismatic, non-European style of Begin, successfully channeled this deep-seated socioeconomic and ethnic resentment against the labor elite. By appealing to both nationalist aspirations and the economic dignity of the lower classes, Likud rapidly expanded its popular support, paving the way for its landmark electoral victory in 1977, the Mahapach upheaval, which ended Labor's 29-year rule.